but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC. You might fool the asses, but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC. Whack rappers, kiss my left foot first, clock bottom, eat rubber. You King Alfred agents are not my brother. Conscious smothers, further muckers. Dodgeball running duckers from slaughter when Mufti Sarge called the others. Open exit doors, no flaws, no sky above us. But on the path below, false prophet play hero, a 00. Songwriter, rapper Neo, calling you black when he's brown like Nino. Rap New Jacks biting, and they still whack. Ex-officers show ass cheeks and kiss peddling crack. Slapping each other on the ass while they play basketball. Sharing Kardashian like Sketty of the dance hall. Or players ball. You're some conscious, too shorts and Sir Mix a lot. Butter round dicks a lot. Homo rapping, drug selling thugs pick up pot that's seedless. Make you watch the idiot box more and read less. You might fool the asses, but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC. You might fool the asses, but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC. J Electronica, in this crazy world in love with cave bitches. Fighting for rapper Negroes and giving stitches. Moorish MC, saving this hip-hop golden child from rap pseudonyms possessed and running wild. Breaking minds out boxes, mental locksmith. Put it all on old school is my hip-hop stock tip. Box slips off, rapper potato head, rap pea-brains and numbskulls. Putting albums out but still come go. You can't make me buy it. Showing ass and breasts in your vids. Plus I got nieces, I'm not a garbage pail kid. I'm not a rapper follower, I usually lead. What comes between crew members is usually greed. You might get slip dick drugs, usually speed. How do foreigners escheat inheritance? Usually deeds. Some prefer to snooze, I usually read. Up past midnight with a book, insomnia makes me hardly sleep. Nothing to do with being the cousin of death. My body was used to being up, selling them death. Went on the corner, I'm most times on the other side of the wall. Always did dirt on my own, never one to call. You might fool the asses, but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC. You might fool the asses, but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC. You rap niggas smoking Ethiopia's ancient name. Moorish MC too active for deal waiting patience games. Drop mix CDs and albums, might sell them online. Rather give it like mental fruit with remove rhyme. Sit back and recline, just hear the more shine. While on a stroll, watch out for rap mind control. My line control when I rhyme is like Francis I. See from a third in hands, not a mantis eye. On campus I was in the cool crew corner. Spirit lives on, not a dumb summer blue mourner. I'm guarding when I flow, blow breath, life in ears. I'll divorce the game, but rappers wanna wife careers. Careers wanna take you for all you got. Then you find out A&R's Wiccans, thickens the plot. What sickens my gut? To get deals, they giving the butt. Treat rap like a queen and hip-hop like a slut. You might fool the asses, but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC. You might fool the asses, but you can't fool me. I read, I don't watch the Dosage Box TV. My mind too open for me not to see. If they play you mainstream, you're probably not an MC.
My world. I don't pretend to go uptown and be anything fancy. I can, but I find more real in the world that I'm in than I do the tinsel. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day, you know. Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
Let the bass kick.
Playtime been over since y'all dropped the ball. Bound to the continent, there's no asylum for y'all. Pushing the black Asiatic game with Ford L and Pool Bay. Before NOI, I rep draw L all day. How many fakes proclaim to be the reincarnation and claim to be the true head of the Moorish nation? No mention of Mealy Ill, but I read his letters. Dirty Moors mad cause they thought they dead as letters. Many were there when decisions were handed down. Now they claim that Mealy was not ordained, not commissioned, not called or appointed. With divine plans for ages, but Dirty Moors making changes. Working with FBI during infiltrations. In a pheasant alleys giving bogey smoke inhalations. In secret walls were made, heads unmade in public mentions. Don't believe, get the minutes of the first convention. Kirkman and Lomax Bay got called out as villains against the Prophet Soden and L. Call Givens. Thousands of Moorish Americans followed those leaders that killed the prophet and made Moors parrots, not readers. They don't study, brains hollow. To crush the truth, plant dissension in the ones that follow. Rob the treasury, felt like they hit the lotto. Took advantage of the faithful Moors in their times of sorrow. Moments still critical, 100 years later, the message. Stick to the principles in your actions, be progressive. Don't sell your soul for a title, take your membership role. Watch out for grand cheeks pushing you in a censorship hole. The sellout was great, now they comfy and won't get the hell out. Active Moors come around, they get clumsy. Not humbly, but act grumpy and jumpy. Active Moors see them touchy and think it's lovely. With faces ugly, I push back so don't shove me. If not for love, it would be just as Dirty Moors get from me. Hitting all reincarnates and writs of discovery and demanding the treasury recovery and law for money. Wearing affairs don't make you a Moorish adept. Dirty Moorish heads are Boy Scouts and cadets. Working for FBI inspectors, slaves for gadgets. Claiming they got pulled, but they really dead magnets. Running a fraud that's done cause new Moors are here. One for all for one profit like musketeers. Bay, not Tampa or Buccaneers. I strike nerves like harp or strings on those puppeteers. Pushing misconceptions as teachings and calling it facts. Swinging my scimitar tongue, not a fireman's axe. Quick to call me out as dirty, say I violate acts. If you don't nationalize, know that I annihilate blacks. Nailing through their palms and insects on beams of wood. Burn crosses on black lawns in my Moorish hood. Black Klansmen like movie from 1960s. White power, not supremacy like Clayton Bigsby. Now I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis, misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces. 99 years past, Drew Ali said 50 would pass, and you wouldn't know about me, or even know what I brought for you. NOI and UNIA knew about him too. Most thought that they could bury the movement, be in charge, passive and abuse it. But Drew said new Moors would come with eyes open, seeing and knowing, far from hoping. Far from belief in faith, master fruition. Study the laws of nature, activate intuition. One day our wheels of industry will stop, and when it starts again, Moors will be on top. Drew Ali blessed with latent power. Warned you, get out the way or be ground to powder. Drew Ali didn't kill you fast, but he brought you your title and estate vast. Confusion continues to confuse, no remembrance of Maghrib al-Aqsa by Moorish descendants. Now I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis, misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces. Yeah. 1 2 1 2. Check. You already know what it is. Moorish MC. Yeah, yo. All praise due to Allah, no bow ties. On my tracks, rappers get the warp speed blow bars. Stay in my lane around corners, one man, no eyes, Cyclops Bay. Covenant not new like polites. Running a fraud, you paid 4,300, Lord, this in the legend. Typical coon and reverence, but people support getting played, robbed for birthrights. It's not about fiat, your energy quenches their thirst, right? Vampires and warlocks speak with finesse in their speech. Subconscious mind traps won't release, detecting a breach. They dissing they prophet, Drew Ali, they dissing their creed. Before you follow dirty Moors, listen to me. Every Moor is not your bro, most of them sold out. Ask Khalid, Malcolm, Shabazz, and the ones that know about getting stabbed in their back for talking about rights. Minus the civil, notwithstanding, like a cripple. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, the priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you. Middlemen come calling themselves prophets and godsends, claiming they're sovereign, following hillbilly nonsense, saying Moors are wrong, taking things out of context. Stupidity of conscious blacks is an inferior complex, following leaders that won't go with you off the cliff, lying about slavery and even about slave ships, robbing the ignorant, saying papers filed federal, under the jurisdiction of attorney generals, claiming straw men for credit in a debt system. Yes, bonds from the treasury are really from the IMF. I am just saying what I see from the conscious, begging for donations while acting obnoxious, with no solutions. $1,500 for service products that cost 50 cents to print. These black devils are off their rockers. They don't feel awkward giving state ID to coppers. Highwaymen think killing the bay is gonna stop us. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead.
We declare our rights on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Black History Month, you find ridiculous.
You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Which month is Black History Month? No, well, come on. Go.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh. Why not? Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
More and more I am being guided to study more. More and more I am being guided to study more.
See my Moorish flag flying like my Moorish cape. I'm not a Jew, but Jerusalem has a Moorish gate. Dirty Moors unreal, call them Moorish fakes. Pull at Negroes' emotions like some Moorish drakes. If you really wanna know, go to a Moorish meeting. You better have a pen and pad, cause when active Moors speaking, it's wake up time. You won't find the Moorish sleeping. Crescent moon and star in the sky, that's a Moorish beacon. The way I navigate beats, call me Moorish Seaman. My nationality, I have the power, Moorish He-Man. Moorish turban, I'm royal, don't mistake me for bourbon. Moorish master MC surgeon, not a rapping servant. We suburban, Moors are so determined to solve the Negro problem, Moorish white man's burden. Moors beans conquer, white rice, that's a Moorish plate. Black or more fish on a hook, that's a Moorish bait. Moorish estate before chapter 48, ancestral line. All secrets taken away, Moors are not clandestine. Euromasons go to back rooms or washrooms, returning black robes and hoods with cloaks, Moorish costume. You won't have it twisted once the Moorish got you. Desensitize the facts so the truth won't shock you. Some people call it awesome, I'm making it awful. Liar, lawyer, pushing the legal when Moors are lawful. Preachers give you ghost spell, sheep bring Moorish gospel. Moors are ancient, they even found a fez on a fossil. Even Bruce Lee knew he wore shirts with aunts. Even MC Hammer knew pantaloons are Moorish pants.
I understand, man. I'm a man. I understand that nationality is the order of the day. I understand.
I've seen and heard Moorish things in this realm. I had to fathom in shadow eyes inside hoods. Moorish master phantoms, smoke swarms, swollen circle 7 forms. You can stay close, I'm gonna stay far from the norm. Tory and Astro, travel on terror, no license. No jail cell, no cuffs, no sirens. No watching over my back, trying not to get stabbed. No fence hopping, windows copping. Want me nabbed, Moorish monk status. Bad up any youth who's baddest. With knowledge of self, Moorish Quran quotes, gun in my belt. Moorish Naga, not a nigga. No shots fired. Telling officers they're servants and just hired. Easing back into his cruiser, Popo ego bruiser. Tables turned, Moorish status got him like the loser. It's a shame, many hear it, but only a few wake up from the dream state and do what Moors do. Fearing their own Moorish star, pheasant, El Bay. I'm staying Moorish, I don't care what blacks say. You can tell me, many Moors are running a racket. Or show me pics proving Drew Ali is a Moorish faggot. No matter how bad it looks, I'm not dropping this habit. Moorish Neo wake up the streams telling me follow white rabbits, jumping, stumbling blocks they call Holy Trinity. Moorish mind, soul and heart expressing divinity. I'm Illuminati, illuminated, great seal more. All seeing eye from high, being the being I. Stand on squares and compass as Allah prepares the mind to handle demonic and those devilish stares, casting spells so I can abandon and give him my power. For Grand Dragon commanding from a Moorish tower. Yelling Alfred Pike quotes, don't be surprised to catch me. Drawing Moorish pentagrams, reading Madame Blavatsky.
But I'm a Moor. Islam. I'm a Moor. Got sense enough to know I'm a Moor. And ain't gonna never argue with you that I'm not a Moor. And wouldn't come in your house or come among you and say I'm a Moor if I didn't feel in my heart, in my mind, in my soul that I am. God damn it, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No Moor. So if I say it, I mean it. And if I mean it, generally, I say it. Are you a Muslim? Yes. But I know my roots, and I ain't Kunta Kinte.
This letter, the memo says King received, reproduced in full form, a photograph, Garrow included in his Standpoint article. The letter is anonymous, but the author claims to be an African American who supports the civil rights movement. The author names Roy Wilkes as a preferable leader to MLK, whom the letter says is too morally debased for a position of leadership. It includes some unusual capitalizations and punctuation, which Insider has not corrected. King, in view of your low-grade abnormal personal behavior, I will not dignify your name with either a Mr. or a Reverend or a Doctor, and your last name calls to mind only the type of king such as Henry King VIII, and his countless acts of adultery and immoral conduct lower than that of the beast. King, look into your heart. You know you are a complete fraud and a giant liability to all of us Negroes. White people in this country have enough frauds of their own, but I am sure they don't have one at this time that is anywhere near your equal. You are no clergyman and you know it. I repeat, you are a colossal fraud and an evil, vicious one at that. You could not believe in God and act as you do. Clearly,
You don't believe in any personal moral principles. King, like all frauds, your end is approaching. You could have been our greatest leader. You, even at an early age, have turned out to be not a leader, but a dissolute, abnormal, moral imbecile. Yep. Spirits are talking. We will now have to depend upon our older leaders like Wilkins, a man of character, and thank God we have others like him. But you are done. Your quote-unquote honorary degrees, your Nobel Prize, what a grim farce, and other awards will not save you. King, I repeat, you are done. No person can overcome facts, not even a fraud like yourself. Lend your morally psychotic ear to the enclosure. You will find yourself and in all your dirt, filth, evil, and moronic talk exposed on the record for all time. I repeat, no person can argue successfully against facts. You are finished. You will find on the record for all time your filthy, dirty, evil companions, male and females, given expression with you to your hideous abnormalities, and some of them to pretend to be minister of the gospel. Satan could not do more. What incredible evilness. It is all there on the record, your sexual orgies. Listen to yourself, you filthy, abnormal animal. You are on the record. You have been on the record. All your adulterous acts, your sexual orgies extended far into the past. This one is but this tiny sample. You will understand this. Yes, from your various evil playmates on the East Coast to Dolores Evans and others on the West Coast and outside the country, you are on the record. King, you are done. The American public, the church, organizations that have been helping Protestant, Catholic, and Jews will know you for what you are, an evil, abnormal beast. So will others who have backed you. You are done. King, there is only one thing left to do. You know what it is. You have just 34 days in which to do. This exact number has been selected for a specific reason. It has definite practice significance. You are done. There is but one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, abnormal, fraudulent self is bared to the nation. And that was from 55 years ago. FBI tried to blackmail Martin Luther King Jr. with a suicide letter. FBI coming up again? How's FBI coming up from these people? How come we're doing research on people talking about Noble Drew Ali's a pedophile and stuff like that, and FBI is coming up with Martin Luther King fake letters and you know, to disrupt, discredit, and destroy the FBI's media offensive? Let's just see what they're about, because it's interesting that there's key things that the FBI, in their own words, say that they're going to do to destabilize our people from waking up. One thing they're going to do is anybody who's a leader, they're going to attack them. Anybody who's a leader who has any type of clout, they're going to attack them. Whether they kidnap them on the highway, whether they claim there's some type of IRS paperwork that they filed wrong, so they owe us 30 years for 50 million. whether they just murder you. But the leader at all times has to be portrayed in many different negative lights. And by now, 2021, come on, you know they own the media. You know they own. If these people could make robots, trust me, they can make some forged paperwork. Stop this BS. Stop it. Why would the FBI have a media offensive against people who are so-called Negro, black, colored? Why would they have an offensive, not defensive, an offensive against our people being liberated? And why would the people who are trying to be liberated work with them to push the offensive? Only because it always comes down to the people. Forget people in Brazil and all that who are a million of them in the street. Forget them, because they have a nationality. They're not Negro, black, colored, or indigenous, whatever. They have a nationality. Right? While you're over here marching for some BS all the time. Regularly. All you want is BS. Not a nationality though. But anything else they come with, you'll go with that. Anything they say, you'll go with that. Well, aren't they the enemy? Why are you going with what they say? Why are you going with what the enemy says? If you're going with what the enemy says, you either have Stockholm Syndrome or you're a traitor. In which any case, you're in default. So shut the hell up and stay over there with your helmets and your rubber rooms and stuff like that, and stop bringing up Noble Juali and Moors. Because we already know you people are FBI. Somebody sends you people. There's no way 77 Amazing Facts author Rami Salam El could be doing the BS he's doing right now unless he has Stockholm Syndrome or he's a traitor. There's no way. It's impossible. Right? These people thought they were smart. But Juali warned them. But they didn't want to hear what he's saying. They don't want to hear what Noble Juali is saying. Okay, let's see if they hear what the FBI is saying. To disrupt, discredit, and destroy. Ward Churchill. The record of the FBI speaks for itself. J. Edgar Hoover, Introduction to the FBI Story, 1965. The record of the FBI speaks for itself. From the outset, the FBI took containment of the Black Panther Party as a top counterintelligence priority by denying it potential recruits and the possibility of alliances with or absorption of other groups. More broadly, this meant creating opposition to the BPP on the part of the majority of ghetto residents, as astonishing 62% of whom professed admiration for what the Panthers were doing by 1969. 62%. In seeking to attain both objectives, COINTELPRO operatives sought to discredit the party by orchestrating the release of false and derogatory information through the media. For this purpose, agents had at their disposal an already developed network of some 300 cooperating journalists, many of them nationally syndicated, and all of them prepared to pump out the bureau line on virtually any topic, including in some cases a willingness to simply sign their names to news stories and opinion pieces written by FBI propaganda specialists. They included such then big names as labor columnist Victor Reisel, who has been more accurately described as a human funnel for the FBI. Another was Gordon Hall, the so-called freelance expose specialist for radio station WMEX and television station WBZ in Boston. Oh, Boston again, huh? Massachusetts again? Massachusetts again, huh? Interesting when people get on this thing and what we're talking about. Ron Kaziol, a mainstay reporter for the Chicago Tribune, was yet another. The Chicago field office alone listed 25 such friendly area sources. The New Haven office 28, and there are many others. One such mouthpiece, the editor of the Jackson Daily News, James Jimmy Jackson Ward, who was described as being friendly, discreet, reliable, and a loyal American, produced a 7-part series on the New Left based on FBI's file material and studied with the director's pronouncements. The St. Louis Globe Democrat was an equally zealous collaborator to the very end, especially cooperative with the Bureau. On July 7th, 1968, station WCK-TV in Miami actually went so far as to air its own special report on the Panthers program, Black Nationalists and the New Left, which had a large part been prepared by the FBI. So, this is what has been the practice. And then what you're seeing today is that exact same thing. If you're claiming that you're more and all that, be built for this. Be built for this. Because this will eat you and spit you out with no remorse. And you have nobody to blame but yourself. You can't blame Kudrow. You can't blame the website over there. You can't blame Noble Drew Ali. You just have to accept that you weren't built for this. And do exactly what Noble Drew Ali said to do. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cut it up, burn it, whatever, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. That's all. Follow the instructions. Nah, they don't want to follow the instructions. They want to play like they found something out about Noble Drew Ali and they're going to expose the prophet as being some criminal. But it's interesting that these same people, this is their email they're sending to Canaanland Moors. Right? October 2019. Right? 19, 20, 21, and then we're about to be October. 2 years ago. We're not talking about some 7-year reign of people claiming that they're Moors. 2 years ago. You know when Dr. Khalid, the Moor, used to tell you about Johnny come lately people? And he referenced that the Europeans are Johnny come lately. They just came yesterday. What are you bringing them up for? What do they have anything to do with anything? They're modern. That's these people talking crazy about Noble Drew Ali. This how they were riding in 2019 though. I am going to attempt to make this brief. I watch your channel almost daily. You have helped me connect many dots in recent months. For years now, since age 33, I have been aware that the so-called black woman Moabitess is the creator of man on earth, the original God of her people. A few years later, I was reconnected with my oracle roots. The book I spoke of is a jewel. You should read it. There is so much being hidden about the mother matriarchs. Our story is yet to be completely told. Patriarchs have tried to wipe out our existence here away, but they have failed. I have only recently learned the truth about my nationality and birthrights. The missing piece to my puzzle, the magic ingredient. It's the chasing powder I needed. Praises to Sister Rosmariah Bay. She is the reason I discovered the Moors and your channel. Another channel I watch often is Moorish American 720. So informative. I am in Louisiana territory. Many here are still unconscious, searching for the light, when Noble Drew Ali has shown us the way. Highest honors to the divine prophet. If not for his life, where would we be? The mothers must awaken, and until she is restored, there'll be no peace. I have declared, and I am studying and preparing to proclaim. You are a gift to the Wajets. More science is excellent indeed. Again, thank you, and you should read, and if you ever should read the book, I'd like to hear your thoughts. And then, this was the book, the Slybil's book. Everybody can't say that we're hating or whatever like that and we didn't promote the book. Because we've been telling the mothers, go get this book. Been telling them. So it's weird that that was 2 years ago, but then this is what's going on now.
So it says your bloodshed Lenape are Moors. When you are too coward to challenge him. First off, little douchebag boy, whatever your name is, I don't know who you are, but I know the platform that you represent. You Canaanites. First, you're not even in my jurisdiction. And then, first off, that's not your jurisdiction. Like, I'm a G-boy. Like, I got ties in Canada too. Like that, you're on my land, so you can simmer down, young buck. And then, to the point that you're alluding that.
No. You see the gayrist people, guys? You see the people who pretend like they don't have the fagito wrist? Know that they're mad that they got caught. They're mad that we know that they're porn kings. They're mad that we know that all they're about is fiat and they're not about uplifting their people at all. They just have a platform for no reason. Their fathers and their children's in the background of the video that they're on crying, and they're just sitting there. They're just sitting there doing their online thing. And you want to know how come children are messed up right now? You got some nerve to talk about Noble Drew Ali? You're on video, your son's crying. He's making a fuss. Why? He probably wants his dad. But his dad wants to play online guru guy. abandoning his child live in your face. Before they go be fathers, they want to be YouTube guys. And then you got some nerve to talk against Noble Drew Ali? Obviously you didn't read your Quran, because Drew Ali told you what you're supposed to do, father. You're too busy trying to be YouTube guru guy to get these people's finance. And now that the finance is drying up because Moore's been exposing all you people as traitors and sellouts and people shouldn't be giving you any finance, now you're going to make up stuff about Noble Drew Ali, try to discredit him. We've been got the lessons. And we already told you. Just get rid of your Bay and whatever like that. Get rid of your L and all that stuff, right? Don't be talking about no Sekhmet, Ra, L and all that stuff. Get rid of the L and all of that and go back to where Noble Drew Ali found you. Just go back. No different than the other one. His son's coming on there with his 2 earrings and all that. His dad's sitting there with black rings around his eyes. And you already know what the black rings around your eyes mean. Doesn't mean that you didn't get sleep last night. Do your research on black rings around eyes and see what comes up. The hell you talking about, Noble Drew Ali? Follow Noble Drew Ali. You're with the true Moors. We know you kiss your son on the lips. We know you do. We know you do. You're a dirty man. And all you people, the well is running dry. All you people, well is running dry. All of you. And all they have left is try to degrade Moors. Try to make Moors look like they're doing something wrong. And they're not talking about any of the pedophilia going on with state of Massachusetts. They're not talking about any of that. They're not bringing any of that up. But they're going to talk about they got a package for you, give them finance. And you don't realize that this is an FBI operation? That this is part of the mode of operations? You're looking at it in your face. You can't even see it because you're caught up. And go look up Ojibwe. And when you look up Ojibwe, all you see is pale people. Now you talk about Canada. Canada's a corpse. That's not the land. Even Europeans know that Canada's not the land. The time right now is about Noble Drew Ali. He already told you took away all the secrets. All these people being exposed, they had dust on themselves trying to hide behind the dust. And they got caught stooping down right there. They got caught stooping. Why are you stooping in the open? Pretending you're hiding. You think you're invisible or something?
Lenape or Morris, I have expressed it multiple times. If you were too slow in order to see it previously, I can do it.
No, if you're too slow to recognize that your boy Shem told you Lenape are Moors. That's all, period. We're not even going further into anything else. We don't care about anything else. Your boy Shem told you, and you had nothing to say, so that's just what it is. We're showing you these people are FBI. Because they're using the same tactics like they did with El Hajj. If they're going to tell you that they found some article about Moorish cult exposed because But then, when you go to the bottom of the article, Deputy Cleves ordered that Mary Lou and her mother and Christina be held pending the outcome of the inquest, which was continued until March 29th. If they got violated, why they getting held for? Why are the people who got raped or whatever by Noble Drew Ali being held? Why are they holding them if they're the ones that were the victims? And keep in mind that when you do your research on the Pittsburgh Courier newspaper, you'd realize they didn't get popular until the 50s. So if they didn't become popular till the 50s, then who's listening to them back then, putting some news out? And if anybody's listening to them, they're gonna already know that they're listening to infiltration talk. If they're gonna send Martin King a letter claiming that it's from some member of the black civil rights movement, trying to get him to shoot himself in the head, but then he gets shot on the balcony, well, doesn't that tell you something? Shouldn't he have shot himself in the head on the balcony? They're not going to tell you. They're going to tell you that Judas and the Black Messiah inspired a congressman to reintroduce a bill to strip J. Edgar Hoover's name off the FBI building. They're not going to tell you about that. Because any idiot, after watching the movie, should have some very interesting thoughts about the FBI. Because remember, they gotta approve everything in the movie. They're just letting them put that out without them getting back to the FBI, send them the script and all that for them to read it too. And they're letting you know that that's what went down. And then these FBI people are coming up again, and then you're still missing it. That this is all about get you removed from Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish paradigm. Man, Noble Drew Ali's the man. We told you. Noble Drew Ali's the man. This is why he told them to read the stuff before every meeting. Islam. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all. And I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. Just them. Just the few faithful Moors. There ain't nobody else. This is just for the few faithful Moors. This is not for the traitors who call themselves Bay and El, and they're not Moors, but they're Bay and El. Noble Drew Ali is a pedophile because one article from the 1900s said that. One article. Show me 50 articles that say that. Then we might be able to talk about something. Because if all those articles came from the FBI newspapers, then what the hell what are we listening to that for? There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people on our side of the nation that claim that I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens. They are trying every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. They are trying every scheme that they can to disqualify Noble Drew Ali, but they're not going to tell you about their handler's founder about to get his name stripped off the building. Because there's even more dirt than that. Which, of course, ain't doing jack, because that's their boy. That's their boy. And they look out for their own. They look out for their own. Kazoil was again a star performer, cranking out 7 such articles in just 3 weeks. Probably the worst press coverage, however, was provided by Tribune reporters Robert Weinreich and Edward Lee, who produced an exclusive front-page interview with State Attorney Edward V. Hanrahan and participating police on December 11th, therein under a banner headline proclaiming, "Hanrahan, Police Tell Panther Story." They presented an unchallenged regurgitation of virtually every official untruth uttered up to that point in the Hampton Clark case, and added a raft of new ones. Prominently displayed were a pair of photographs of purported bullet holes in the door and door frame of Hampton's apartment, by which participating the killer's claims to have proven that the Panthers fired first and had thus been shot in self-defense. Chicago's CBS television affiliate, WBBM, followed up the same evening with a reenactment of events told entirely in terms of the police account. A day later, presumably inspired by such analysis, the FBI-affiliated Fraternal Order of Police released a statement to the press calling for the Panther as a whole to be wiped out. The whole charade finally began to unravel when a few independent reporters finally managed to demonstrate that the bullet holes in the police photos published by the Tribune were actually nail heads standing out in bold relief against the Hamptons' white woodwork. As it turned out, the Panthers had fired only one shot, and that by Mark Clark during his death spasm, while police had fired 99, including 2 point blank into Fred Hampton's head after he'd been badly wounded. Charges of attempting to murder the police raiders were subsequently dropped against the 7 party members who'd survived the assault, but one of whom had been shot by their supposed victims, but no criminal action was ever taken against the killers or their superiors. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe, But if you over there, yeah, if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your profit. You. He's talking to you right now. You who's listening to this right now, he's talking to you. 2021, he's talking to you. Because I guarantee you, no one else is going to sit around and let people just talk crazy about their profit. No one else. What, Moors though? Oh, we got to practice love instead of hate or whatever. So we're not going to beat some people in the head with a bat for being traitors. So we got to deal with them. Because if nobody going to do anything about it, then we got to do it. Then they're going to be here. Nobody else has traitors in their stuff because they deal with their traitors. Right? We murder or get our messiahs murdered. That's what we do. We don't pump up the messiahs like how the other people do who have nationalities. Right? Everybody else has a nationality. They got their creed, their religion or whatever. They have their prophet. They have their God. They don't have any issues. Here we are, founders of civilization, and we're playing games. When we have everything it takes to save a nation, but nobody wants to take it and save themselves. Everyone wants to take it and sell it to somebody else to make finance. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Everybody, what do you think? Keep your enemies closer and all that. Why? Because those are the ones. That's the problem. The traitors. You think he's talking about some Europeans? He's talking about watch your enemies? Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet? Yeah. These are your enemies right here. These are all your enemies right here. Here's all your enemies. These are all your enemies right here. These are all your enemies.
Trying to keep the house no straight. Unbelievable. Haters come a dime a dub. Might smoke a boy with you, but it's money they love. All at the club talking shit.
These are them.
Hey, hold on, pause that, bro. I got one of these F-boys in the chat. Meaning a term that is given to you from a group of other people for a people somewhere else. So I just educated you, you idiot. All right. So from a group of other people, the Lenape is Moors. We do not call ourselves Moors. That is an idonym or an exonym, meaning a term that is given to you from a group of other people for a people somewhere else. So I just educated you, you idiot. All right. So have a good day. And also, if I did not correct Shem is my elder. And then after probably like 3 minutes or probably like damn near right after he made that statement, I asked him to clean it up because I told him it's fools like you who would take a clip of that video and do exactly what you did. Take a piece of his statement and then try and use it against my nation.
Lenape is not a nation. Stop the BS. They already know that it's BS. They're FBI. Why do you think they're out here causing confusion? We just read the stuff from them. Why do you think that this isn't them too? Because they look like you, they're not FBI? Like we always say, who sends these people? Where they come from? Like we said with Cliff. He was probably in it from the jump. He didn't cross over halfway. There's no way that you can make it this far and sell out. There's no way. There's no way you make it this far and then you're turn around and give it back your LB and all that stuff and go back to being a nigger. There's no way. There's no way that you're losing confidence in this. There's no way that you're holding malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet. It can't be. It's like we said, they either have Stockholm Syndrome or they're a sellout. Everybody else is good. The ones in question are the ones who have Stockholm Syndrome that look like us, or the ones who are traitors. I ain't concerned about religious people and all that. They ain't. Because that's what's left. There's the few faithful Moors, there's Stockholm Syndrome people, and there's traitors. Those are your options. Those are the options. I know without a shadow of a doubt that majority of what you want to know is going to come from what you research, not some jerk you listen to on some live thing. Right, when you go on Kasir, or you go on Khalifa Society, or you go on Kush Day, they're giving you something. You're not leaving empty-handed. Like, you're getting something. You're getting a book to buy. You're getting some congressional whatever. You're getting a map. You're getting a image of something that your subconscious mind is going to relate to. Something. They're giving you something. Right? And those are the ones that got 20 views or whatever like that. And then these people holding money to their ear and they're conscious, they got 50,000. But then, you check the play and you realize, damn, they could actually buy views. They might be having 20. And what they're actually doing is stopping everybody from seeing that these Moors over here actually got their 50,000. And somebody's playing with the numbers because it's not your stuff. And they're going to keep playing. Because they know niggers don't read. Because niggers don't read, then they don't know. If you don't know, then what's the sense? Historians attack David Garrow MLK allegations. Garrow 66, who won Pulitzer Prize for Bear the Cross, 86th biography of King, noted that FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover was out to discredit the civil rights leader and said FBI files should be treated with skepticism. As he faces a wave of criticism from other historians for an essay published Thursday in Standpoint, a conservative British cultural magazine, he now says some FBI files are more reliable than others. Garrow claims new evidence shows King, whose extramarital affairs have long been known, was a sexual libertine, alleging sexual activities with dozens of women and describing them in graphic detail. One of the claims would constitute a crime if true. His evidence? FBI files purported to be summaries of recordings of King and his colleagues in the 1960s when their rooms were bugged and the phones wiretapped by Hoover. The summaries were apparently inadvertently included in the JFK files maintained by the National Archives and released online in 2017 and 2018. Garrow discovered the inadvertent release, but the audio is closed up till 2027. Why would they just make it open? Why would they close it up? If their job is to get him, and they got files that's gonna expose him as being a sexual maniac or whatever, how come they just release the stuff? Why are they holding it for years? Why hold it? Why not pull out the stuff? Just like we're saying with Drawley, why is only one thing covering this incident? They are trying every weak mind to drag out the true foundation. The weak minds are the people who don't know about their nationality birthrights, and the ones who do, who take this as they don't have to study. They got their card and their whatever, so they're good. Now we just go back to be a nigger over here. We got a nationality card. Not doing nigger stuff as Moors. They put things in place to have the people discredit. That's what they want it to be. When it comes to Moors, it's a discredit system. Because the Moors, they've done nothing honorable. All they do is messed up stuff. They can never get it right and all that. When you check the record, the Moors pretty much the only ones who got it right. Because the Moors that sold out their own. Why Moors quote unquote fell? It wasn't some European did something. European did nothing. It's always us. It's always our own. So just make sure you check these people. You know what I mean? Check their baby pictures. A lot of these so-called Moors, and they got L's and Bays and all that stuff, they're not about uplifting the people and all that. They're about mental slavery. And doing the same tactics that FBI did on Panthers, El Haj, Martin, Garvey, doing the same stuff. So what does that mean? Not that it's them. Honor to all the Moors. Don't forget it's the equinox. So get your rituals out there. Be grateful. Be grateful, be thankful. Be grateful and be thankful. You know, especially you farmer Moors. You know you're yielding. You know you're yielding crops still. Seeing the peppers. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the mothers. Then honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for being the man. Supreme honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam to all the Moors worldwide.